Hi, my name is Sharon Cox. I am a nurse, missionary, wife, daughter, sister, friend, and mother to 3 amazing and unique human beings. 22 and a half years ago, one of those amazing children changed the trajectory of our lives forever. My husband and I had come back to the States from living overseas on a mercy ship to pursue further Bible training in hopes of also starting a family before returning to a mercy ship's overseas. That was our plan. At my 20-week prenatal visit, my OBGYN discovered on sonogram that our baby girl was not growing at the rate that she should be. This began bi-weekly visits to a specialist in Dallas, and on one of those visits, in my 26th week of pregnancy, an emergency C-section was performed to deliver our 13.5-ounce, 10-inch long baby girl, Brianne Marie Cox. On May 17, 1996, at 3:40 in the afternoon, Brianne began the literal fight of her life. She spent the first 9.5 months of her life in the neonatal intensive care unit at Methodist Medical Center in Dallas, and I spent those 9.5 months living in the nearby Ronald McDonald House, trying to maintain my sanity. My husband commuted back and forth from our home in East Texas to work at Mercy Ships, and then back to Dallas on the weekends. The last report that I heard from Methodist Medical is that Brianne still holds the record as their smallest survivor 22 years later. There is a story that was written by Emily Pearl Kingsley in 1987 that describes our experience, as well as many that we know perfectly. It is titled, "Welcome to Holland." I am often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, to imagine how it would feel. It's like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and you make wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian, and it's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." "Holland," you say. "What do you mean, Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to Italy." But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. I've actually spent quite a bit of time in the real Holland, and I love it there. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people you would never have met otherwise. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy, but after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, "Yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned." And the pain of that will never, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland. By God's grace, our family has definitely come to the place of not only accepting our life in Holland, but actually embracing it, even being thankful that this is the place that the Lord has chosen for us. There are times, however, that we come to new forks in the road, new milestones that can bring back the pain and the reminder that we are not in Italy like most of our friends. In May 2018, we experienced one of those painful reminders: high school graduation. For those students who are in the special education portion of the public school system, there is provision for them to age out of the school system after their 21st year. Our desire for this meaningful milestone in Brianne's life was that she would actually walk the stage at her high school graduation. Brianne is able to walk with assistance, but she spends most of her day in her wheelchair, so just the act of her walking was significant for us. At her graduation ceremony, Brianne received a standing ovation from the top 10 students, as well as many in the crowd.
Brianne Marie Cox.
A graduation ceremony is typically a very special milestone in the life of a high school student. It is usually met with feelings of excitement, anticipation, and joy. A graduation for a student with special needs can be a very different experience. It's the Holland versus Italy. Many times this milestone is met with fear, trepidation, and anxiety for what the future holds, for both the student and their families. Many students are left with little or no options. After graduation, students see their educations end abruptly. Families, guardians, and caregivers are often overwhelmed by the sudden responsibility. In anticipation of this monumental life change, I began doing my best to prepare for the day when the bus stopped coming. As I diligently prayed and pursued the local options that I could find, there was a growing sense inside me that the Lord was calling me to step out in faith and create something. I wish that I could say that I was a willing participant from the very start, but that would not be true. It has been a long, slow process of the Lord making me willing and bringing others alongside me who are encouraging me and helping me. In Paul's letter to the Philippians 2:13, he writes, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose." In other words, God not only helps us to do what he's asking of us, but he also helps to make us willing. There is hope in Holland. In obedience to what I feel the Lord has asked me to do, and with the help of countless others who he has brought alongside me, we are in the process of creating Unending PossAbilities, a day program for adults with intellectual and perhaps also physical disabilities. Unending PossAbilities, or UP for short, is a program that's intended to focus on capabilities and not disabilities of adults with special needs. We will serve a group of adults that is largely underserved in our community. There are no programs of this kind in our town or the closest towns surrounding us. The few programs available within a 30-mile radius have waiting lists. UP's mission is to enrich the lives of adults with special needs in a safe and loving environment by providing opportunities for growth in body, mind, and spirit. We are currently working on the details of the programming while soliciting potential clients. We are talking to educators, community leaders, and friends about our program and our vision for UP. We have also partnered with an amazing program in Georgetown, Texas that is in their 7th year doing this same type of work, and they are providing valuable resources and answers to my unending questions. Brookwood in Georgetown. Our program will consist of focused plans for each individual in areas of communication, hygiene, creativity, and work. We plan to have 1 or 2 enterprises where our participants will create items to sell, allowing them to experience meaning and purpose in their work. We will also incorporate exercise into each day to maintain or improve mobility, flexibility, and overall health. Our target age range is 21 to 55 years old. UP is a nonprofit corporation. There will be a charge for each adult to participate in the program, but these fees will not fully cover the expenses of running the program. We also don't want to limit anyone from being able to participate because of their lack of ability to pay. So we hope to have monthly and annual donors, as well as sponsorship programs to sponsor individual participants, and we also plan to do various fundraising events. How can you help? I am so glad that you asked. First, you can pray. This program was birthed in prayer and I believe will be sustained by prayer. Second, spread the word. Tell others what we are doing and refer those who might be a fit for our program, including volunteers and those who might want to work. Give. If you are looking for a place to give a tax-deductible year-end gift, I hope that you will consider Unending PossAbilities. And in the coming weeks, we will provide various other options for giving online. Thank you so much for listening to the story of our precious Brianne and the dream that God has given me to provide meaning and purpose for her and others like her.